Welcome to Digital Champions. I am your host, Jessica Franzini. Joining us today is Fernando Clemente from Mule Media. Fernando, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. How's it going? Thank you for having me.
I'm wonderful, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. Why don't you tell everybody about Mule Media?
Absolutely. So Mule Media is a digital marketing agency out of South Florida that specializes in providing a US-based team to marketing professionals. So normally we help out CMOs or marketing directors that are, pretty much looking to grow their capacity and resources, but not grow their headcount.
Okay. Is that the main pain point that customers come to you, or is there something else?
Usually, yes. I mean, I would say the reason we're in business is because of time, right? A lot of times, business owners don't have all the time that it requires to, provide full attention to the marketing side. And what we provide is a solution to that, and that is providing a full-on team that takes on your direction and executes on it on a monthly basis.
Okay. Well, Fernando, why do you think some companies are good at content marketing and others are not?
I think that sometimes we like to look at the final result as opposed to the process. And I think that's really important when you look to evaluate your marketing initiative. And usually what it is, you should be focused on providing value, not necessarily getting a deal or closing, a new client or anything like that.
Okay. Is there particular software that you use that you can share?
Well, I mean, there's a lot. Our tech stack is pretty big, but I will say that usually HubSpot is a pretty consistent one throughout our efforts.
Okay. And where do you see the market going in the future? What do you think the next 2 years will look like?
I think that there's going to be the tables are turning, and it's up to the consumer to. I mean, this is in the future, right? It's up to the consumer how much information they want to put out there and how much data other companies can actually capitalize on those specific users. And I think AI will be a pretty big format of what the future looks like. So a lot of assisted systems, a lot of assisted algorithms that'll help us figure out pretty much consumer data and patterns, right, all throughout. But this will be more automated because of the massive amount of data that all these platforms have.
So how do you stay on top of all the information? It seems like it changes every day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty active on honestly any forum, any blog out there that has to do with marketing, business, entrepreneurship, and leadership. And usually, I'm pretty on top of it. I love reading it.
I think it's obvious that you need to. What do you think makes what's your unique selling proposition?
Well, for us is really we're really focused on retention, not production. And this is just me being very transparent on what essentially sets us apart. Is we're not here to just always be selling you a product or be trying to get you on this full-on product line of more services and more services as the year goes along. We measure our success by how happy you are with our relationship and how much you appreciate the value that we bring to the table. So I would say our unique selling proposition is the human side of how we do business as opposed to all the technology we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
What do you think the hardest part about your job is?
Truthfully, it's setting like a common ground between a client and agency. So on our side, everything's very subjective. So when you look at it, it's hard to understand. So something that looks good for me might be something that doesn't look too good to you. So kind of setting that common ground in the beginning is probably the most challenging part. But once that's in, we pretty much have it down to a science.
Wonderful. We have time for one last question. If somebody's coming into this space, what is the best tip that you can give them, somebody who wants to launch a career in digital marketing?
Yeah, just try yourself first and then move it along the line, right? I usually say that our account is our guinea pig, and our team can treat me, the owner of the company, as their client. So usually if they're looking to pitch a new idea or try a new strategy, try it yourself before referring it forward so you can speak with experience and not with conclusions of something that you never have even tried.
That's great advice. I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Fernando, for coming and joining us today on our show. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Jessica. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet. If you'd like to learn more about Fernando Clemente and his amazing work with Mule Media, you can go to dailyadbrief.com. This has been Digital Champions, and I'm your host, Jessica Franzini. Thanks for tuning in.